Welcome back. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to set up a FiveM framework known as vRP. Now before we begin, you need to make sure you have a FiveM server already created. If you do not have one set up, you can check out my previous video on how to set one up. Before we begin, you need to go to the description and you need to download the vRP framework, vRP DB driver, and oxmysql. Once you have each one of those downloaded, you can go to your downloads folder and extract each one. Once you have extracted each one, you can go to your server, go to server data, resources. Inside your resources folder, you'll want to create a new folder. This folder will be named open square bracket, vRP, and closing square bracket. Once you have created that folder, you can open that folder, go to your downloads folder, open up vRP master, and copy everything from that folder into the new vRP folder you just created. Once you have done that, go back to your downloads folder and go back to where it says vRP DB drivers. Click that and find vRP oxmysql and copy that into that same vRP folder from before. Once you have done that, inside your server, go back to your resources folder and go into your local folder. Now go back to your downloads, go back to your main downloads folder, and copy your oxmysql inside of your locals folder. Once you have done that, you can close your downloads folder, go back to your servers folder, and go back to your server-data folder. Once inside there, go to your server.cfg file, open it up, and under your last resource, which should be ensure archon log, enter twice, and we'll be creating some comments, so keep everything organized. I'm going to create one named DB, or database, and under that you'll be doing ensure vRP underscore oxmysql. Enter twice, and do the same for framework, so # framework. Under that, do ensure vRP. Once you have done that, you can save that file and minimize your text editor. Now that you have done that, you need to set up your database. To do so, you will need a program called xampp. xampp is in the description below, and you'll need to install it. Once you have installed it, you'll need to run it as administrator by right-clicking on it and running as administrator. It'll pop up your user account control to allow you to make changes. Select yes, and your control panel should open. Once it has opened, you will need to start Apache and start MySQL. Now for the next step, you can get an alternative program to manage your SQL database, or you can use the xampp control panel. I will be using the xampp control panel. You'll just need to select admin. It'll open up your browser and open up phpMyAdmin. From there, you will go to where it says new, and in this box you will name the database. For this tutorial, we'll be naming it vRP and selecting create. Now that is done, you have a new empty database. Once you've done that, you can close the browser. You do not need it no more, but just minimize your control panel. Now that that has been done, you can go back to your text editor that has your server.cfg file open. Under your endpoint underscore add underscore UDP, enter twice, and in the description below there will be a connection string that you need to copy and paste in this place. Once you have pasted it in this place, you need to change the username to root and delete password and the colon in front of it. Once you have done that, you also need to go to where it says db_name and type in underscore or lowercase v capital RP. After you have done that, you can save that file and now you can close it. After that, you will go back to your server, go into your resources, your vRP folder, vRP again, CFG, and base.lua. This will open up your cfg.database configuration. Make sure your driver says oxmysql. Your host is your local IP host. Your database is vRP. Your user says vRP, and your password is an empty string. Once you have done that, you can save that file and you can close it. Once you've done that, you can go back to your server-data folder and start your server. Everything should load exactly the same. You should get database server connection established, and everything should be loading that is default in the server configuration files. Once you know everything has been started, go ahead and launch your client. If this is a testing server for script creation, you can set up a local host, and this will pop up by going to your settings, interface, and setting the port to 30120. Once you've done that, you connect to it. And as you're connecting to it, your server configuration should show that you are connecting in both spots. One's registering you as user 1 and the IP address associated with you. The other is just initiating the connection. Inside your game, you can see everything has loaded by using F8, and you can also start using the built-in menu by pushing up on the D-pad. Now that you have done that, you can start creating custom scripts and or playing with friends. Now that you've created a FiveM server with vRP framework, you now are free to do as you need. Thank you and goodbye.